We're talking Star Wars.
What?
Look, we went away the week before The Last Jedi came out. We came back, and everyone's in shambles about this movie. So
division everywhere.
Initial thoughts going from Jono through to Ali in that order.
It's more divisive than the bloody plebiscite.
Yeah. What are your general thoughts on the movie, Jonathan?
Okay, before every big Star Wars fan I've asked if they like this movie, the exact same reaction. Like that note. They hit that note and they just hold it. That's their response. And I felt the exact same way after I first watched it. I didn't like it. I watched it a second time. I liked it.
I don't like that justification.
It wasn't a justification.
No, like watching it, like liking it more the second time.
Well, it wasn't a justification though.
Yeah, I'm just
saying what happened.
Yeah. I say trust your initial
He doesn't like
instincts.
the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Right, okay. He doesn't like what I just told him happened. Alright. No, I think it was just because there's a lot of stuff that's really annoying the first time you watch it, and it kind of overshadows it. And because I knew they were coming the second time I watched it, they let me kind of see the other stuff that it got right. Because the annoying stuff was really annoying. Are we allowed to spoil it?
Yeah,
the whole casino thing was rubbish. There's no need for any of that. A lot of the stupid flying through the space thing with Leia, that looked dumb.
Leia.
Don't get too specific, because we're going to go through these things.
Okay, right. So I didn't like it, and then but there is some stuff it did right, which I noticed more the second time I watched it.
Okay, general thoughts.
I like that they took a little bit of risk with this episode, because I actually had a lot of criticisms about The Force Awakens being too risk averse.
Safe.
Yeah, too safe. So I was happy that they kind of went in the weird direction. The sea cow, I liked.
I said general. You're getting specific.
I'm just saying.
I know.
I don't know what you want.
We're going to talk about
Bloody
this.
hell.
You already said your general thoughts. Finish.
I like that I got nominated for good sound.
Okay, good. Chris, what are your general thoughts on
My
it?
general thoughts are, I had a lot of very little problems. Like, there's lots of little things throughout the movie that I was like, what? Oh, I didn't like that. But overall, I liked it a lot. Again, I watched it first time, I liked it. I watched it second time, I loved it. And the more I think about it, the more I like it. And I think it's a really, really good Star Wars movie because it's different.
Okay.
General thoughts.
Those are my
General thoughts. I want to like this movie, but I don't. I tried to reconcile myself with saying it's less annoying the second time, but I got more annoyed the second time because it was like, these things are still here and they're still pissing me off.
That's true.
It's more annoying because of the things that I love in it, if that makes sense. But let's just go through the list. Okay, what are everybody thoughts on the alien boob squeeze with the milk?
Loved it.
I love this too. I don't know what people's problem is.
It was
with
gross.
It was the look that he gave Ray after he drank it that made that scene.
It was so gross.
It was so great.
Yeah,
it was
I
like
loved it.
real.
I don't mind it, but
Okay.
I liked it because it was like a puppet thing as well.
I love that it was just so
It wasn't
gross.
some, like,
I just love that
It wasn't like a CGI friggin'...
It put the weird back into Star Wars, which I loved.
Yeah, I yeah, it was good.
What about the porgs?
Stupid.
good.
What are they?
The puffins.
Dumb.
Porgs.
I was okay with
I'm
them.
down with porgs.
Nah.
What do you think of Kylo shirtless?
Love
The-
Kylo.
That was my favorite scene. I laughed every time I saw that
Is he
scene.
supposed to be hot?
No.
I think he's one of the most divisive.
Do
handsome people.
no, but like, do people who are into guys
Oh.
find him attractive?
Chris?
I find him middling.
Drop the
Count
mic. Drop the mic. Pick up that mic and drop it.
It's
got a weird looking head.
So Finn in the movie. I'm gonna guess we all hated that.
Oh yeah, he had a
He had nothing to do.
Yeah, he did not have much.
I don't hate Finn as a character. I just didn't think he had
The
anything.
whole
He just didn't have
casino-
anything to do in
The
this
casino
movie.
arc was stupid.
Yeah.
The
Could've
new
killed him off.
character could have been cool, but was dumb.
He could have learned something from DJ. I think there was that little arc where they were talking about how war is like, like how we're supplying
It's not
weapons
black
and
and
stuff.
white.
Yeah, it's not black and white. He could have learned something there, but he kind of didn't learn anything from that.
Yeah, and it made it worse because he was so like you liked him from the first one.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know, take him with Ray or something. I don't know, just
Do
imagine
anything
him
else.
having shenanigans with those Guardian people on the island. That'd be friggin' hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the Guardian people.
You mean
on
the
island.
fish nurses?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were
They were-
great.
they were
when,
great.
What are they called?
too.
The fish
when,
nuns.
when
fish
the
nuns.
Roth goes,
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
tricky, but
She could have
Just-
killed them.
Yeah.
Then what?
I think honestly that the director wanted to leave him out, but he's not allowed to leave him out because he's Finn.
He wasn't allowed to. Oh, he wasn't. Yeah, you're right.
And he wasn't allowed to do something.
Then why
And he
different.
wasn't
introduce?
allowed to
Then
kill
why
him.
introduce Rose? That's the other thing too. Like I didn't understand that.
He doesn't like her. Like she likes him, so it introduces a really weird romantic
Yeah, that was weird.
dimension.
Anyway. Did we- are we-
Snoke.
Snoke's
Uh,
dead.
Snoke was great up to the point he got.
That was the best
Yeah.
thing. Kill Snoke. Done
Yeah, I
with
didn't
Snoke.
care. I didn't
Forget
care
Snoke.
about him.
I was actually for this one too.
Yeah,
I didn't like this mysterious overlord
Get
kind
rid
of
of
thing.
he had no like. He wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And even in this movie, when he's like, "I'm manipulating you with the Force," I'm like,
Can you imagine
"Oh."
how long it would take to make him matter?
Yeah.
Like to make us actually give a crap about him.
I was.
It would take like the entire next
Pegasus'
movie for us to have
second
been like,
uncle.
oh, he actually matters, and I don't want him to win.
Okay. What Iron Man Leia? What do we think about that?
It was
Stupid.
weird, but I'm fine with it.
What?
Leia.
Nah, I wasn't
Iron Man
okay with
Leia.
it. It was very
Why do you call it
distracting.
Iron? Oh right, that's what you call it.
It was more like
It was like this.
Or Superman Leia.
It was this.
That's
She was doing this
weird.
thing from. Have you seen Snowpiercer?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know how she does the. They do the. They're talking about the kids that change the thing. Never mind, alright, because she does that in the movie. Never mind. She does this thing where her hands are like this in the movie.
You have some
she
really
does this thing.
obscure references,
Yeah.
even more than Chris.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, I hated that scene.
I actually didn't
I
mind.
didn't
this one
hate
either.
it. I just thought it was just odd.
I didn't mind it. I dug on it.
Yeah, I was actually like,
It's
"Ooh,
fine.
she's got Force powers!"
Yeah.
Yay.
And then she doesn't use them ever.
Yeah, and then she doesn't use them again, which is
She
kind of
was
annoying.
used them.
She was never
Anything.
trained.
But she can fly.
It's the Force works in a new.
She's not
mysterious ways.
like as strong as Luke.
She was unconscious. The Force
Uh,
just flowed through her.
I think she should. Nah, anyway, it doesn't
Maybe she didn't
matter.
want
It doesn't
pursue
matter.
She didn't pursue it.
What
I
about,
thought it's not that. It was easy to look past for me though.
what about Yoda?
I loved
Loved
it.
him.
Loved it. Loved that it was a puppet. Loved that it wasn't CG.
Yeah.
Well, he might have been, but he was CGI. It was a really good CGI puppet.
No, I think
No, it was definitely a
Did
puppet.
they actually
they
use a
like
puppet?
went on Reddit.
Oh,
Went-
great.
it was a
saying
puppet.
That's awesome.
But it still looked a bit odd anyway, which I don't know why. But
It was initially jarring, and then I was like, "Nah, I'm going with this.
Yeah.
This is cool."
It was
Well,
so
like-
much better than the CGI one.
Yeah.
and when you saw his ears and like the
Yeah.
first one, you're like, "Oh, it's Yoda!"
What did you guys think about him having the ability to shoot lightning?
I'm all for it.
Yeah,
dude.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyone who has a problems with new Force powers is an idiot.
As long as they don't contradict the previous Force powers.
It kind of makes you go like, what has Qui-Gon Jinn been doing this whole time?
Yeah. Oh, the whole
That-
Force Ghost thing opens a
So,
lot
like
of
200
questions.
Well,
years
it's funny you
to
asked that.
shoot
We-
lightning at someone.
Ali
Come
and
on, one
Ali and I
shot.
did a podcast about what they're doing afterwards.
Yeah, shameless plug.
It was a great podcast. I was watching that the other day. Actually, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't confused by that, you know, one of my big problems with the movie that no one seems to be talking about, that I'll bring up with you guys, is how much they talked about bloody fuel.
Yeah, right.
Like half the sentences in the movie are talking about how much
Yeah.
we're struggling with fuel. A concept that prior to this movie had not come up at all in any other Star Wars movie. Luke went all the way to freaking Dagobah on one tank of gas.
in a
and
little,
back.
in a little starfighter.
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
they had a bigger ship. It was a much bigger ship they had to
Burns a
fuel.
lot of fuel.
What
Yeah.
I'm saying is, it introduces such a weird element that doesn't fit like with the rest of the technology of the other thing.
Maybe in the future they don't run on renewables. They run
Yeah.
on.
Okay,
fossil
now you're making
fuels.
excuses. I'm going to tell you another one that's going to make you not like the best shot in the movie.
Oh, the light speed thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of like, now they can just kill anything by shooting light speed
Yeah,
ships into it.
yeah. That
Yeah.
that's what they call plot convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you
that's
could
fine.
imagine that it has to be a really big, because that was the biggest ship in their fleet. So
Yeah.
they sacrificed the biggest ship in their fleet to kill another ship.
I think Holdo discovered it right there. Like that was the first time
No,
anybody
no,
in the
that's
Star
dumb.
Wars universe
No.
had
no,
discovered
that's
this.
no,
That's not true.
no.
Because they talk about warping through a planet or a star by
Yeah.
accident.
I am.
When?
In the original movies.
No, I'm not questioning that they did it. I'm actually genuinely curious.
Han
as to
Solo
when.
actually says like, "Oh, we don't want to
You
like,
gotta
we
be
need to put in the
careful.
calculations, otherwise we don't want to end up in like
Yeah.
I feel
inside a
like
planet
they
or
do that
something."
more than once.
Okay.
Is that a problem? Talking about hyperspace calculation?
No. 'Cause you're
Why
just
is
saying-
fuel consumption a problem?
Because they've never even talked about fuel in a general sense of
That's
the
a
word.
silly argument. Just because they
Yeah.
haven't done something before doesn't mean.
And then
It just
suddenly
means that everyone
it's
else
a
planned
major
better.
plot point.
They're just
in
expanding
the movie.
they're expanding the
Ah.
universe.
Everything's.
I'm not-
You've got to have plot points.
I'm not as
What-
bothered
what-
by
every-
this as
Every
you are.
time they're talking about fuel, it's like, why are we still talking about this?
Well, because it's important to the plot this time.
What do you think those ships run on?
I would be upset if they were talking about
The
fuel
Force?
and it didn't matter.
Think someone's outside just
Because that
pushing
would be
them along?
weird. Like, why are they talking about fuel? Like, why are they talking about taxes in the first one?
Trade Federation,
Right.
Because it matters.
trade imperials.
Because it's all very important.
But I had an interesting theory that's flying around, which is about theories in general. Of, do you think fan theories ruined this movie? Because
Yeah.
that's kind of the funny theory that's going around right
Yeah,
now.
I was gonna say. I thought the point of this movie was that theories are dumb.
Yeah.
Because like every good thing they could have done was already used because people have seen everything else and speculated and
Yeah.
created cool storylines that could happen.
Right.
And no one would have guessed this, but not for a good reason, because they're doing stupid things.
Yeah,
Did that make sense, what I just said?
Yeah, it did.
They're trying to
get
be they're trying to be antithetical to the fan theories.
Yeah, they're trying to George R. R. Martin Star Wars.
But I've heard actually, you know what's interesting is that
That's
Rick,
the
think so.
TV show, not
the guys
book.
who write Rick and Morty do the same thing, where fans will come up with an answer to something they thought was the answer to their question that they set up earlier in the season, and then they have to rewrite the whole thing just to.
Yeah, it's
So
different
thrown
for
off
a
course.
25-minute animated show.
Yeah.
But all of
I'm
that.
just saying, like it's something that happens, I guess, quite regularly.
But all
It's
of
just
it
that they
makes
have to rewrite
sense,
someone
like-
else's fan theory.
Yeah.
Ray's parents.
But Star Wars, it'd be impossible. There's so many theories.
Yeah, like who Ray is.
Yeah. The stopped clock is right twice a day, right?
Broken
Like,
clock?
there's so many different theories. They're gonna
Yeah.
be some of them gonna be right.
None of them were right.
But at this point,
Yeah,
the
because
biggest,
Ray's parents didn't matter.
the biggest thing that annoyed me about it is I'm honestly not excited for the next one. I don't care what happens.
I'm the opposite.
What if they correct all the things that you said were wrong with this movie? What if they said, oh, you know what, that fuel thing, sorry, that doesn't exist.
No, that's only a niggling thing.
What's
but,
the
like,
thing that... No, but how did you feel about the Ray's parents thing? Do you think that's a misdirect?
I think that's a lie.
Okay, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Most
I
people
agree.
think
I think
it's a
lie, too.
misdirect.
I think
Absolutely
it's a
not.
complete misdirect.
I think it's absolutely.
You think her
fine.
parents actually are no
Well,
ones? I
nobody's.
mean, they could go that way because it'd be the message that they were trying to peddle in
Absolutely,
the whole
just like
thing.
the kid at the end. His parents are nobodies. Like,
But
the
it
Force
kind of...
doesn't is genetic.
It isn't. True.
It is genetic, but it is also
No, it
not.
isn't, because we're pretending midichlorians don't matter.
They do.
Hmm?
Because George
They're
said
not
they
real.
do. They are real.
No, it
George
was-
said they're real.
It was a fever dream.
Ugh.
You didn't see anything about it. I just hated that casino part, and it was so long. It was so much of the movie was that.
And they released the animals. I'm
And that
feeling
line at the end, now it's worth it?
now it's worth it.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to slap myself in the face. That was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard.
They released
just
the
wasted
horses.
so much time
They
doing
released the horses.
nothing. They had literally, at that point, they'd accomplished nothing. Their friends were going to die,
Sometimes
were
you
stuck.
lose.
and they were like, now it's worth it.
Can't always win.
Nah, stuff that.
Those horses would have been recaptured. It wasn't worth it.
Immediately recaptured. Unless they have access to a warp drive.
Well, there was a line where she said she wished she could take a.
but they don't have fuel.
She wished she could take a big something through the middle of that city. What did she say? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Big ship at
The whole thing was a prequel moment.
Do you think it's going to be a bit like... This one is quite polarizing. Empire Strikes Back was very polarizing when it came out as well.
a lot of people are drawing that
Is it the same deal?
thing, but
Because people might not have expected what they did.
at the end of Empire, you want to get Han back. At the end of this one, who cares?
Okay.
Like, what do you want to happen?
I don't know. I'm so excited because I don't know what's going to happen. I've seen trilogies happen. I've seen it happen. Story, same story. Story, same story. But now we got story. Ooh, we're going to have a time jump? What's going to happen? Like,
I
Like
think...
they have no momentum.
You know what I wish would have
what if
happened?
Kylo Ren makes a Death Star?
No.
And then they have to destroy it.
Man, that would suck.
I wish. You know what I wish would have happened is where that scene where Kylo goes, "Come with me," and she says, "All right, let's go," and then that's it. That's the end of that chapter.
Yeah.
Mm.
The only thing I really don't want to happen is just for him to become a good guy in the next one. As long as that isn't the arc, I'm okay with whatever else they do.
He's got to be redeemed, right?
I don't want that lightsaber to
It's a
not
bit
matter.
late.
Is it?
Do you guys feel like that lightsaber should matter? Because in The Force Awakens, there was like a vision when she like touched it,
Yeah.
so it mattered.
They destroyed it.
He threw it in the river or something, didn't he?
No, he
After-
threw it to
Over
the
his-
porgs.
Alright.
Threw it over the porgs.
Yeah, that kind of annoyed me a bit.
Everybody,
Everybody
a lot
had
of people. A lot of
questions.
people hated that.
So
scene.
many things.
Last
that
time I
they
saw this
set up.
lightsaber, I had a hand.
But I think that was a perfect moment because it set up the rest of the movie. It's like, okay, this is not The Force Awakens. This is going to be something that is different.
Yeah, but
Forget
then it
what-
just made a lot of The Force Awakens not matter.
Let the past
They
die.
have to, but they do. They have to reinvent
The
this
past
franchise
was like
somehow.
the previous movie.
Kill it if you
They
have to.
can't. They can't keep going the way that they have to change
It
something.
had a hipster attitude, man.
Yeah.
No, but it's just like
we're doing
don't-
this to be different.
They have to.
But
be
then they
different,
should have
though.
been different from The Force Awakens, not from this movie.
There's no
I agree
way.
with
There's
what he
no
said.
way from a business point of view they would have done something
Yeah,
different with The Force
no, they
Awakens.
had to do
It
The
had
Force
to.
Awakens.
They had to do it so safe. They had to show the.
So
studio
why would you have a scene where she has a vision when she picks up a lightsaber and then it doesn't matter?
different director? That's why.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
There's-
I know it's dumb. But
There's
that's
so many
essentially what
things
it
you could
is.
say that about.
Yeah, no, it's her parents for one.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's why
They
the
like
movie's
it's
so
like
frustrating.
teasing you and then slapping you in the
Look,
second movie.
contrast this with The Force Awakens was written by a committee, right?
Yeah.
But this movie was written by one guy. So it's sort of it's a
It
very
definitely has
different-
that polarizing effect
It's a
of one
different
guy
tone.
making something.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
agree with you. I
I-
actually do. I'm on the
Yeah.
side of liking this movie now, but it's annoying that it feels so different
Yeah.
from the other one. Because I'd rather see 3 movies that lead somewhere than individual movies.
Yeah.
Um,
What I give this movie points for is the fact that Disney went balls out, like just went, all right, we'll just let you do whatever you want to do, basically.
We've now made enough money.
Yeah. And so they were kind
Imagine
of
they
letting
just
Rian
did that.
Johnson.
We've made enough
probably,
money now.
You know, he's not George Lucas, but I think he's pretty close to being a good director. Like
He's
a
an
good-
amazing
successor,
director.
a good successor to George Lucas.
Well, they've given him a trilogy.
Huh?
So that's why I think
Separate the trilogy.
Yeah.
it's an uncomfortable first step into the new world, but I think it needed to happen in order for us to get a longevity out of this series. Otherwise, we can't just keep watching The Force Awakens. You know what
I would
mean?
have been so
What's-
okay with The Force Awakens being different. I don't know why you guys are saying they couldn't have been different in that
Because
one.
they had to get everyone back on board.
Yeah,
Mm.
they just had to play it
just have
super
a
safe.
lightsaber and
They
force
had to play it
powers.
super
No,
safe.
They had
No.
lightsaber and force powers here, and everyone's lost their bloody minds.
They just-
Because of the first one. I'm
Yeah.
only upset. The only
If
things
this was
that
the
upset
first
me
one, I
are the
would've been
first
fine
one.
with it.
Yeah.
No,
Because you can't tease people and say this is important, pay attention to it, and then go, nah, we're just kidding. That's dumb.
it's fine.
Tell you what, when you helm
I
a
don't care.
$4 billion franchise,
No, because they just sacrificed like $500 million at least, and 2 months in, and they're $500 million down.
well, $1.3 billion can't
I
be
think,
that bad.
yeah, I think 1.3 billion is pretty good.
For the people who invest in their thing, I think they would be like, I'd rather have that $700 million.
I tell you what, though, I don't think this is going to damp. I know there's a lot of people who say they're not going to watch the next Star Wars saga trilogy.
No, I'll definitely watch it.
I think people will definitely still see it.
Oh,
Anyway.
watch it.
well,
I just
I
wanna be
liked it,
pumped
so I
for
would
it.
definitely watch it.
How pumped can you be?
Of
for
course
movies
you'll be
nowadays?
pumped. You'll see the trailers, you'll be like, oh, hell yeah.
You know what's super weird is that it's back to JJ after this.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah.
how's he gonna handle it?
He's got.
It didn't
never-
even. It
He's
wasn't
like,
even
you
like.
stuffed up everything I started. Let me start it again. Like, hopefully he doesn't do that.
Well, it wasn't like
Good.
in the Empire Strikes Back. It teases important stuff that
Like,
you can go back to later and go, oh, that's how.
like
Like
what?
it bridged.
Like what?
This wasn't a bridge to anywhere. I felt like it was just a new beginning.
Yeah. Well, he got
Like
frozen.
a middle
Oh,
movie
yeah,
is a
yeah,
bridge,
sure,
right?
sure,
It takes
yeah.
you somewhere. And
Yeah.
now, like Ali's saying, it's like, where the hell are we going?
Yeah, like you knew at the end of Empire, we got to get Han back.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And you're devastated.
And he started his training. You know who Yoda is. There's the conflict with the dark side.
Right.
Would have been cool if he ended up on the dark side, but anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah. This wasn't a bridge. It's weird for a middle movie. It feels like it wasted The Force Awakens. It feels like The Force Awakens was a complete waste.
Yeah.
That's what it feels
Well,
like.
it was. You watch it, it's like, you just watch
Yeah,
A New
exactly.
Hope.
That's annoying.
Like, but before this movie came out, it was the same thing.
But I didn't like the new.
I didn't like The Force
I didn't like a
Awakens.
Force Awakens.
There we go.
That's what's annoying
I was
me, though.
okay with it, but I just was like,
I don't understand the
But
argument
no,
that they did
These
what
future
they had
movies
to
are
do.
not going to make The Force Awakens better.
I know. I'm still annoyed by The Force Awakens. I think that's what's carrying over into this movie.
Right.
But I'm treating it like a trilogy, which it is.
All right, we got to wrap up. Star Wars.
Do we have to wrap up?
Am I right?
You know I could keep talking about this. But anyway, we're back. This has been episode 72 of Trend Settings. It's a new year. It's a new day. It's a new time. But you can still watch us on YouTube or Facebook.
At the same time.
Oh, my.
With all the sound.
Well, depending on if you're live or not.
Depending on if we have the sound on.
Yes.
I don't know. Ev's on next week as our wild card.
Well,
Nick's not back because
Why?
I don't book
Why,
people
Ali?
2 weeks in a row.
We'll tell you later.
General thoughts.
General Kenobi.
Thanks for watching. My name is Ali.
My name is Chris.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jono.
Join us next week when we talk about what's trending next week, which we don't know what it is yet because we're not seeing into the future. Ooh.
You're not precog?
See you next week.